at Slice Pizza and Brew and saw Sam Shop and Deli. Been in the restaurant business my whole life. And it's my passion and I enjoy it.
Nice to meet you, Jeff. I'm Michael Bell with the Modern Brand Company. We do a little bit of everything but advertising, build out websites, design logos, pretty much all brand strategy. And so we work with a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of small businesses, probably like you guys are.
A lot of people in the restaurant business or basically just new upstart business?
We've done quite a few restaurants. We work with Satterfields, we work with Dyrens when they open, we've worked with quite a few.
And that's more on the lines of building their creative and brand promoting, or?
Yeah, even down to like designing menus and helping with the interior of the restaurant and the whole brand experience when you walk into a restaurant.
So your company has a lot to offer. Obviously, we sell pizza and beer, and that's what we specialize in. We like to attract the adventurous eaters and drinkers.
Y'all have a really nice brand experience when you walk in. I mean, from the patios and from the ovens in there and the whole thing, it is an experience other than just walking into a pizza.
I like to give it the fact that it has a destination feel, so it's got the ambient lighting and gives it, the bars, obviously the focal point, and then, showing off the pizza oven and stuff, obviously.
Yeah, what's your favorite pizza?
Mine is the Lakeview.
Okay, what's on the Lakeview?
It's got braised short ribs, arugula, grilled red onion, and it's got a horseradish drizzle on top with cherry tomatoes. So.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know if I've had that one or not, but I've had several.
That's my favorite. Now, if you were going to tell me, if you walked into my place, you would tell me, this is just like you would give me your opinion on how I could take my brand to the next level. Obviously, you've been in there before.
Oh, yeah.
What is something you would see and say like, hey, Jeff, this is what I would do, this is what we do, to help cross-promote your brand and, make the footprint bigger.
Yeah, y'all do a really good job, and one of the things you do really well is you partner up with charities. I think that's a big deal, and a lot of businesses don't realize the value of that, but y'all do that really well. There's always a benefit going on at Slice,
Sure.
Donating proceeds back, and that's a great way to reach people who are
I think
interested
that
in
helps
that cause.
build a rapport, with your...
It finds that common ground with the
Sure.
customers. Is if they support breast cancer and you support breast cancer,
Sure.
then you have something in common to talk about.
And on days there's not a charity, then they'll come there for the weekend,
Right.
remembering the fact that, hey, we gave back to the community. It's all about fostering community
I think
spirit.
that is a much better plan than doing a Groupon.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Sometimes I feel like a Groupon's a sign of desperation, so. And I hate to think that it cheapens your product.
It definitely does that. People do it with the idea that you're going to get people to come try it once and then they'll come back. But it's starting to be proven that they don't come back. They come for that one time and they've got a discount. And
Sure.
You never see them again.
They're strictly Groupon shoppers,
Yeah.
so. In your company, you've seen growth obviously, you said you're up to 5 employees, so.
Yeah, Modern Brand started in 2007, and it was kind of right in the middle of everything being on the downslide, and we survived that, and then in 2010, 2011, we worked on a federal grant that was part of a health initiative with Smoke Free Alabama, and it also had an obesity piece to it. And that sustained us for those 2 years and really helped us grow and get to the point that we are now. Now that grant's ended, we've really built the company out to where we do have 5 people in the office and working on a variety of clients now.
And most of your business has been generated through word of mouth, or?
Pretty much exclusively. Just one client leading the next referral.
In your business, I imagine that goes a long way.
Yeah, and it's nice that we're 5 people, we're small, so we don't need that many clients going on at one time. If we have 5 active projects, that's all we need to keep us busy.
And in my business, I feel like I want to grow, but at the same time, I feel like it's tough to grow because if I build another Slice in Birmingham, then I feel like I take away the destination appeal. If that makes any sense to you.
It does.
I mean, people come and then you might affect the business that you have now because, the people that you might get from 280 or somewhere else in the metro area might not come there because they're,
Yeah, there's definitely, it would pull some of your current customer, but there's also a lot of people who live way out 280 who are never coming in to Lakeview.
Sure, no, I understand that. I'd like to see ourselves grow as, like maybe in different cities and expand that footprint from that aspect. You in the branding business, do you think I should grow in the city or keep going outside the city?
I think there's room for at least one more Slice, if not in Birmingham, in Shelby County, in Pelham and Alabaster. because the second one is almost the hardest one, because it's where you start learning how to control without being there.
Sure.
It's easy in the first one because you're there every day. The second one, you're not there every day, you gotta see how it is, so if it was somewhere close, like Pelham, you could still be there some, you could really manage it before you start doing one that's out of state, that you really have to trust that somebody else is managing it.
And you think the demographics in Shelby County obviously would support that?
Absolutely.
I guess I don't want to stereotype them as over the mountain, but I definitely think, the people from the suburbs have a different mentality as far as, where to eat. They're not as people from the suburbs to me are more commercialized than people that are in the city. People in the cities, they seem to support more local.
I agree.
And I do think you get better food locally. Not to say that the commercialized restaurants are not as good, but me, I'm biased, so.
Well, local restaurants just, if you watch the trickle down of how a local restaurant affects everything, and you typically source products locally and you're buying from local farmers.
Sure.
It all comes back into the Alabama economy, whereas if you're buying from an Applebee's, it's going back up to national headquarters, it's leaving the city.
And that's why we're always trying to promote local and buy local. Like, for example, all my beers on draft are all state local. So we try to buy as much ingredients as we can for our pizzas.
That's awesome.
State local. So, and that's just like I said, kind of fostering community spirit, just building within and putting the money back into the market.
Yeah.
To me, I think that's healthier for the city, in my personal opinion.
Definitely. I think there are statistics that, like, if you spend $1 in a local restaurant, I think 90 cents of it stays in the state of Alabama. And if you spend $1 at like an Applebee's or a national chain, it's like 30 cents of it stay in.
Unfortunately, it's hard to avoid the national chains just because of,
sheer volume,
Yeah, you're just limited, just the laws of averages don't add up to being able to support the amount of people.
But it is an interesting mentality. Like, my friends and people who live downtown and people who are part of the kind of growth downtown don't even think about going out to a chain restaurant.
No,
they've got their 20 local restaurants they go to. But the more people you talk to who live out in the suburbs, they're just not even used to it. They don't even know about the local restaurants that are downtown.
You're right. Because they live in a very commercialized world.
Yeah.
So that's, and like you said, the people in the city, they obviously tend to more go towards a local theme. So, and which I can't blame them. I mean, as far as food in Birmingham, I feel like Birmingham's underrated when it comes. The bar's been set here just based off of James Beard Award winners.
Absolutely.
And, the great food that we have between 5 Points, Pepper Place, Lakeview, just all the different scenes where you can get great local food, and it's hard to get that.
Yeah.
You start going down 280 or up 65 or down 65.
Agreed.
Because if you look in the city, you don't see as many commercialized places.
Right.
And that's all the way from, grocery stores all the way down to,
it's much more
the Kangaroo convenience store, so you have much more a local feel.
Yeah.
So, and people appreciate that personal touch too. When you walk in and you know them by their name and stuff like that. That goes a long way with them, obviously.
Y'all were kind of an early. When did y'all open in Lakeview?
In 2011.
That was, Lakeview was coming around at that point, but it's changed a lot even since y'all opened. Lakeview has really become an entertainment district at this point.
I'd like to think we've become an asset to Lakeview, and I think in order to grow that entertainment area, you have to definitely work with each other. And I'm talking about like the other merchants and the local people that are your patrons and stuff like that. That's obviously a niche following that you have. It's kind of like with the different villages, they kind of got local themes too. Speaking of Mountain Brook Village, English Village, and Crestline Village. So same thing with you have 5 Points, you have Lakeview, you have Pepper Place, and obviously they're trying to grow that footprint with the new ballpark and the new entertainment district they're trying to put next to the Weston and Sheraton.
So down from our building, we intentionally put our office next to the Innovation Depot, kind of on the other end of town from you guys, because we wanted to work with entrepreneurs and small businesses, and a lot of them are in that building.
And this is kind of like a business incubator.
Right. That's the UAB Business Incubator. And so we started out putting our office right next door to them and just trying to work in that building, and ended up working with about 20 companies that are in there that are just brand new startups, either tech companies or biolab companies or whatever. It really worked with them, but what it did was it put us on that kind of western edge down there towards 65. We're on 2nd Avenue, and since the time we went in 2007, they built the railroad part. Now they put the baseball stadium in, which is 3 blocks from us. And so we're really seeing our neighborhood change a lot right now.
And what kind of goals do you have for your business as far as, if you look out, from next year and there on after? Obviously, you're trying to grow your brand and your company.
Yeah.
While you're trying to grow other people's brand and their companies.
Our business is interesting because everybody can use branding. I mean, you do it, you're doing it right now. Everybody can use it, but we intentionally look for things that are challenging. We look for brand positions and brands that have a problem that we can fix. So we're not really industry specific, we're more challenge specific, and we'll sit down with somebody and say, yeah, we can really make an impact. These are your business challenges, that's something that can really be affected by branding, and if we do this right, we can change the way your customers perceive you.
And whether that's generating sales or just, like you said, customer perception, whether it's for the good or the bad.
Right.
That's interesting because branding is very underrated value that people don't, acknowledge. And
it's difficult because it's an intangible. It's
Sure.
something that if you're not doing it, you may not even understand it, or you could be doing it very badly and not even know it.
Correct.
And there are businesses all over this town where people walk in and automatically form a perception. I mean, the minute they walk into your restaurant, they're going to form an opinion about it from the way it looks, the way it smells, the way the menu's printed, everything. It all kind of builds up to this brand experience.
And y'all obviously have a template for certain entities that, hey, for a restaurant, this is what we like to do.
Every restaurant's different, so it's not a template, but we do have a kind of formula for you need to think about these things. You definitely need to think about the way that the restaurant looks, the way that you paint the walls, the way you do your seating, like all of that kind of builds up to a brand.
And as far as from my point of view, me being hands-on obviously could put somebody like you at a great advantage to help branding that product, having the owner-operator there.
Right, and that's one of the reasons we really like working with entrepreneurs is they're in there, they're involved. Kind of before my partner and I started Modern Brand, we were working at another large agency, and it was working with big regional and national companies, and it wasn't fun because you weren't working with the person who's on the ground right there. We're working with you.
Sure.
And really talking to people who are passionate about it. And yeah, you can make a bigger difference when you're dealing with an entrepreneur and they're in it every day.
Without a doubt. I just see that just from the different restaurants around me and the different people that are growing the business, like yourself, Krista, for example, other people from Innovation Depot that I see, they're kind of like startup businesses that have formed their own entities and kind of grown their businesses over the years. Well, I hope to be able to obviously partner with y'all in the future and help building my brand without, stepping on anybody's feet that I already work with.
Absolutely.
Just being an asset to our company.
We have quite a few clients who are nonprofits. We do a good bit of work with nonprofit companies, so we might find a day that we could do a partnership with you and do some donations.
Without a doubt, I'd like to look more into your company and see what more it can help us out as far as us growing our footprint in our business.
Good, so and I'm going to come try the link for you.
Please do.
All right.
Thank you.